Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Ayuni Zafira and I am your treasurer for the ELC UUM for the session 24-25. And today I will give you some briefing about the treasurer related part. Okay, so this presentation is very important for the program director. Some of you later on will conduct your own program, so you need to plan for your budget. And this video will guide you on how you will actually do that later inside the portal. Okay, and then after that we'll also go to the claiming process for the program director. Later on, when you have finished your almanac, we will proceed with the paperwork. So inside the paperwork, you will see the budget section later. Inside the budget, you can see income and expenditure. For the income, there are actually two types, which is initial funds and other sources. For initial fund, it is actually the money that we currently have. So you can take it from the student account project, or we call it as account contra. So every club have your own account contra. I'm not sure if you can see the picture that I provided here, but later on, if you choose initial fund and student account project, you will get to choose our English language club student account project. So you choose that, and it will display to you the current balance of our account. So you just need to write the amount that you want to take from this account project. Okay, so make sure the amount that you take is reasonable enough for what you will be spending later for your program. Okay, and then for the other sources, it is you can also actually obtain money from external sources. For example, you can seek for sponsorship, or you can also collect fees from participants and students as well, and make sure that you provide description of the income. For example, if you choose sponsorship, the description you can say tajaan wang dari syarikat or which individual. Okay, and if you collect fees, just specify what kind of yuran is it. Is it yuran pendaftaran or yuran membership? Okay, so for the other sources, if you want to make the sponsorship or collect the fees as your income, I actually suggested you to put the initial funds as well for your income backup. Because why? Okay, later on, since this is actually paperwork, so you only plan for your budget estimation. When the real things occur, maybe let's say that you speak sponsorship 300 ringgit or collect fee 300 ringgit, but it turns out that you only managed to get 100 ringgit. So at least when you put the initial fund as well, it can actually cover your expenses as well. So you don't only have to depend on other sources. So I suggested you to put the initial funds as well. All right. Next one is expenditure. So expenditure is where you will plan what are the items that you plan to buy for your program. So when you visit the portal later, you will get to see all of the list of the items that you can spend for your program. So you just select the expenses that are relevant to your program and make sure that you give description as well. For example, bayaran kepada penceramah. Okay, so if you choose expenses, food and beverages, specify what type of food and beverages that you want to buy as well. Okay, and you put the price per unit as well as the quantity of the items, and the portal will automatically calculate to you the total amount. Okay, so and please make sure that later inside the portal, uh, they will also specify, they have set up the highest amount that you can go for the price per unit. Okay, for example, let's say that you for the food and beverages, you put it there. it, Later you can see that the portal already specify for you the highest amount that you can go for the price per unit. For example, that they put it 6 ringgit. So make sure when you put the price per unit for the food and beverages, make sure that it does not exceed 6 ringgit. So you can only put 6 ringgit or below. Okay, so just follow it according what the portal have specified to you. Later when you fill in the expenditure, you will see the highest amount. That thing we call it as kadar maximum. Okay, so I can also give out to you this table as well. This table is basically all of the list of expenditures. But I think you may ignore this kadar maximum because the kadar maximum have been automatically updated inside the portal, so you just can see it there. But I still want to give this table to you later, because to give you some ideas on what are the items that you can buy. So later on, I will give it to you this table, okay? Once you have settled with your income and expenditure, so this is your budget summary. In if you did not touch any transport, accommodation, and sport facilities, you will go to this section, the total income and total expenditure. Okay, so make sure that the budget in your paperwork is the same as the way in Almanac. Okay, so let's say that in the almanac your budget is 250, so the budget in paperwork also 250. And the second thing is make sure that your total income is equal as the total expenditure. So you will get the surplus balance is 0 ringgit. Okay, so although that you plan to make your total income actually much more than your total expenditures, but just to let you know, this is just paperwork. So this is just estimation budget. So it does not happen yet. So we want to make it tally for everything. So just make sure that total income is the same as total expenditure. The the actual things that happen later, you can put it inside the report. Okay. So for now, just make the total income is same as total expenditure. Once you have submitted your paperwork, then you will notice that the account status will turn out to be active a few weeks later. Okay, so the person that in charge for activate this account status is actually the Bendahari UUM themselves. So they will look at your paperwork, and if your paperwork have the budget, meaning if it involves money, then they will activate the account status for you, and later on you can claim it. So just make sure that if you have budget in your paperwork, make sure that it needs to be turned to active in order for you to claim later. But if your paperwork does not have any budget, then you just can ignore it. Okay. So once you have conducted your program, you can start to fill in the report inside the portal. So for the budget later, you need to report the actual things that happen uh, of your money management during your program, for the total income and total expenditure. Okay, so for the total income, you can actually report the amount even though it exceeds the income that have been approved to you. For example, let's say that the income that have approved to you is 500 ringgit, but you can report the amount that is much more bigger, like 800. If it exceeds the income approved, is okay for the income, but for the expenditure, let's say that the budget amount that have been approved to you is just 500, but you put it the report amount is 700 or 600 ringgit, and you want to claim 600 ringgit as well, so that is going to be problem to you. So you cannot do that. You need to make sure that the reported amount in the expenditure must equal or less than the budget in the paperwork that have been approved. And that is the first thing. The second thing, you need to also make sure that the total expenditure must equal or less than the total income. Let's say that the expenditures is 4 ringgit more than the total income, then that is acceptable lah. But let's say that the difference of the expenditures and income is 100 and more, then there's going to be a problem for you to claim later. So make sure, that's why it is very important for you to plan your budget really carefully, so that you can avoid this kind of problem later when you want to report. Okay, if you violate any of these two things, then it is going to be quite difficult for you to claim for the money that you have spent for your program. So just make sure that you really plan it carefully to avoid the claiming process being difficult. So this is the role of program director. The first one is, of course, you need to fill in the almanac and paperwork first. Number two, before you submit the paperwork, please make sure to screenshot the budget section. The budget section contains the income and expenditure, right? So screenshot it and then send it to me for me to check your budget. Once I have approved your budget, then only you can submit the paperwork. Number three is cover expenses for your own program, which is you guys need to use your own money first. So this is normally what is being done lah. For the program director, usually they will use their own money first, and then they will claim back the money from me or Bendahari UUM. Okay, number four, of course, after you have complete your program, fill in the project report inside the portal. Number five, and fill in the claiming documents. So all of these claiming documents, if possible, so you guys need to prepare it within 14 days. If not, you're going to produce the surat kelewatan lah. Okay. And then number six is receive money either from me or Mendahari UM. So you will only receive the money from me if you guys have completed the claiming documents. So make sure that you guys look at the details lah, what I needed for the claiming documents, and then send it to me for checking, and I need to chop as well. And also after that, send the documents to the select HEP. After that, only then you can claim the money from me. But in case that you guys have, our club have some financial issues that makes me unable to transfer the money back to you. So you guys need to claim back the money from our club account, our contra account. So this one will be transferred from the Bendahari UM lah, but it will take a quite longer time, which is 3 months. The fastest time is 3 months. So we cannot do anything about that lah. But it's either you claim it from me, which is the fastest way, or from Benda Harian. So we will look at the situation later lah. Okay. This is the claiming documents that you guys need to prepare in order for you to claim the money from the Bendahari UUM. So there are 7 types of documents that you need to prepare. But for some scenarios, you may need to prepare up until 10 type of document. So the first one is Borang Laporan Kewangan. It's okay, I will brief to you what is it later. Second one is approval letter. You can just get it printed from the portal after your paperwork have been approved. And then Surat Tuntutan, you need to prepare. Number four, Surat Kelewatan Tuntutan. This one is in case that you guys have to submit the claiming documents 15 days after your program. So actually, in order for the claiming, you need to submit the claiming documents within 14 days after your program. But in case that you exceed 14 days, then you need to prepare the surat kelewatan lah. But for now, I think the Bendahari they would not entertain this kind of late reasons. So if possible, I hope that you can try to prepare the documents within 14 days. Actually, you don't have to wait for the program to be finished. You can print it several documents that have actually available, like the approval letter, paperwork, financial approval, and okay, because that's actually way before your program finish. So just try to submit is within 14 days if you can. Okay, so the what else? Give receipt as well. So every item that you buy, you need to have the receipt with you. If you don't have the receipt, then you cannot claim the money back lah. So make sure that you have the receipt, and just try to photostate the receipts immediately in order for it not to be disappeared like that lah. And then let's say that your program inviting some guest speakers, so you also need to prepare the surat jemputan penceramah, and the speakers, the penceramah also need to give their surat jawapan hadir. Basically, they need to reply your invitation lah. Okay. So this is the laporan kewangan that I have told you earlier. Don't worry, all of this template for the document claiming, actually I will provide later, but I will just give a brief explanation about what are these documents are about. So for laporan kewangan, if you wanted to claim 500 or above, you need to print it on green paper. So as you can see inside this slide, you can see the green color, right? So you can print it using the green paper like this color. Or else, if you want to claim it below than 500 ringgit, you just print this laporan kewangan using a plain white paper. Okay. So if you see this laporan kewangan later, you can see the jumlah kelulusan dari HEP. So this is why I mentioned to you earlier, you need to make sure that when you want to claim, you cannot claim more than the budget that have been approved to you. If your budget that have been approved is 500, you only can claim 500 and below. You cannot exceed your claim. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for you to claim. Alright, and then for this, each of the bill here, each of the row, meaning one receipt. So let's say that all of the all of your receipts, you need to fill in the details inside this Borang Laporan Kewangan. Alright. For example, you have 5 receipts, meaning that it will have a total of 5 bills or 5 rows. Alright. So you need to fill on the number receipt. But in case that your receipt doesn't have the receipt number, you can just put it dash or just put it 0123. That's okay. And then you need to put the store that you buy the items from, and the jenis perbelanjaan. Alright, jenis perbelanjaan, you can see for this example, petrol, sarapan, and then you need to put in jumlah kecil, jumlah besar, and the code FIMS. So the code FIMS, I will also provide it later. So for the jenis perbelanjaan, actually, you need to focus on this a little bit. Let's say that the jenis perbelanjaan is the same type, but you buy it from different store. Okay, I will give you an example. Okay, for printing, right? So printing, you go to the different two different stores for printing, but it's still under the same jenis perbelanjaan, right? Which is printing. So you need to put the jumlah kecil first for both of the printing. Let's say one is the first store you buy is RM2. The second store that you buy is RM3. So put RM2, RM3, and then the last store where you buy the printing, you need to sum up the total of printing at the jumlah besar. So do you get what I mean? So it means that the jenis perbelanjaan that are the same type of expenses, put it in jumlah kecil, and then you will sum it in the jumlah besar. Okay, so that for the rest of the thing also you need to do like that. Let's say that inside this example, sarapan and makanan tengah hari, both of it actually under the same category, which is makanan. So put it in jumlah kecil first, and then for the last jenis perbelanjaan makanan, you will sum it. You will sum the total of makanan, and then you put the code FIMS for makanan. Alright. I think you are clear about it. So if it's only one single type of expenses, then you need to put in both jumlah kecil and jumlah besar. So I hope that you got what I mean. In case that you are not clear, just you can try ask me. Okay. So one another thing that is very important is you need inside this laporan kewangan later, you need to fill in the account number that you want your money to be transferred later. So you need to make sure that the account bank that you put is the same with the one that have been registered in the portal, in the FIMS portal. So you can go to your UUM portal, go to financial, and go to the personal information, and you can see which account bank are registered. So you need to put this account bank number inside your laporan kewangan. So it will be more convenient for the UUM to transfer your money. Okay, and make sure that you use the correct code FIMS later. I will also provide to you later. Okay, and don't forget to sign as well. Next one is Surat Tuntutan and Surat Kelewatan Tuntutan. So please remind that the Surat Kelewatan Tuntutan only if you fail to submit the claiming document 14 days within the once your program is finished. But just hope that you guys can just submit the Surat Tuntutan and not Surat Tuntutan, Surat Kelewatan Tuntutan. Okay, so inside the Surat Tuntutan, you need to change a bit the template. You need to put our club advisor, Miss Abida, and then you need as well to get her job and sign as well. And then you also put the amount that you want to claim. Make sure the amount that you put in Surat Tuntutan is the same as the one in Borang Laporan Kewangan. And then don't forget to sign as well. Alright. Move on to the receipts. So these are the expenses that you guys can claim. As long as you guys have the original receipts, you can claim, and then make sure that the receipt date it cannot exceed the program date. So after you conduct your program, if you still buy any items and you want to claim it, it cannot. So you just need to make sure that you buy all the items first before the event or your program are being conducted. And then you need to have the clear receipt. So even if the ink is still new, just photo state it, because later on you still need to paste the actual receipt, the original receipt, as well as the photo state one. And lastly, the items in the receipt must tally with the item in budget report. So all of the items that you buy, make sure that you have the receipt and it tally with what you have reported in the portal. So these are the example of sample receipts for online transfer. Let's say that you make an online transaction to for the guest speakers. Okay, so you pay for her through online transaction. So you just provide the details of the transaction. If you see this transaction here, they put the recipient reference of the title of your program. So you can also do that when you want to make a transaction. For the reference, you can put the name of your program and then make sure that it have the sign from the advisor club as well. This one is another example of handwritten receipt. So okay, so for any receipt, you guys need to make sure that at the top corner on the right, you need to put the numbering on each page. So each page represent one receipt. So every receipt you need to put the numbering 1, 2, 3, and the order must follow the same order that you made in the Borang Laporan Kewangan. So follow that order. So this is an example of cash prize for winner. In case that you make a competition and you want to give the cash as the prize for winner, and you use your own money first, so you need to have this borang akuan penerimaan wang tunai from the recipient. Okay, so you need to include this as well. This is another example of printed receipts. I think this kind of receipts mostly will be used by everyone for the claiming process. So make sure that you paste you gum the original receipt on the right side, and you put the photo state version on the left side. Okay, and make sure that you don't jangan gum the whole edges. You just only cut at the top of the receipt. Okay, don't gum it whole, just put it on the top. So another sample receipt as well. Please make sure once again don't forget the advisor chalk and hand sign. So I think that is all for the claiming process. I hope that you guys are clear and understand about it. So I will give the rest of the slide for you to read some of the common mistakes that sometimes students done when performing the claiming. So you can go through all of this and make sure that you do not do any of this mistake. Okay, and I think that is all from me. If you guys have any questions or you have parts that you don't clear, you can just contact me through WhatsApp. I will try my best to answer it. Okay, thank you for listening to the presentation. Thank you very much.